Hello. Actually, today I will be discussing about the Keynesian interpretation of the Phillips curve. In my previous lecture, I have I have told you that there is a there is the inverse relationship in the in between the inflation and unemployment as far as the monetarist thinking is concerned. And it is in the short run it is in the short run, but in the long run, there is no trade off. There is no relationship between the inflation and output. Monetarists here do not agree with the classical classical concept because classical economists said that even there is no relationship between inflation and unemployment in the short run. There is no relationship between the inflation and unemployment in the long run, but also there is no relationship in the short run. Monetarists differ in this point. Monetarists believed in the Phillips curve in the short run. Today, I will be discussing about the Keynesian understanding. Keynesian's view of the relationship between the rate of inflation and the levels of employment and output follows directly from their theory of how price and output are determined. How price and output are determined in the theory of Keynes. From that understanding, the relationship between the inflation and employment output is considered. So, look, at first we are discussing about the short-term Phillips curve. As I have mentioned that, how price and output are determined in the Keynesian model, that actually helps in determining the relationship between the inflation and unemployment and output. So look, this is the market for output. This is the market for output, and this is the market for labor. This is the labor market, and this is the goods market. Okay. Along the horizontal axis, we measure the output or the we measure the output, and along the vertical axis, we measure the aggregate price level, the general price level. Okay. And look, this is the aggregate supply curve. YS is the aggregate supply curve, and this is the aggregate demand curve. This is the initial aggregate demand curve that is represented by the Y0T. Clear? This is the initial aggregate demand curve. And this is the aggregate supply curve at the initial expected price level. Here the price level is expected price level is initial. So look what happens when there is a expansion in monetary policy. There is an increase in money supply in the economy. There is an increase in money supply in the economy. So what happens? If there is an increase in the money supply in the economy, then aggregate demand will increase. As aggregate demand increases, there is a shift in the aggregate demand curve. The aggregate demand curve Y0D, that is the initial aggregate demand curve, will shift to YD1. Okay. So as a result of this, output increases from Y0 to Y1. And there is an increase in the price level also from P0 to P1. From P0 to P1, price level also increases. This much amount of price level increase. Now, this is the goods market situation. Now, this is the goods market situation. This is the goods market situation. This is the now what happens in the labor market. Look, you know that as for labor supply, actually you can see in that way. So, so look, W by P equal to MPN. M P N. Okay. So marginal productivity of labor should be equal with the real. So you can say W equal to P multiplied with marginal productivity of labor, MPN. Okay, MPN. So W equal to P multiplied with MPN. So here you can find this is the this is the this is the this is the demand for labor. It represents the marginal productivity curve. It represents the marginal productivity curve. And this is the labor supply curve. This is the labor supply curve. And here the initial expected price is P0. Initial expected price. At the initial expected price, the labor supply curve is this. Okay. And this is the marginal productivity curve. And here you can find that MPN multiplied with the P0, and here W0 is the wage rate. W0 is the wage rate and P0 is the price level, initial price level. So here P0 is the initial price level. So marginal productivity multiplied with the initial price level, we get the marginal labor demand curve at the nominal wage rate. This is the nominal wage rate. Okay, this is the nominal wage rate. Now, this is the equilibrium point where the nominal wage rate and the employment are determined. Now, as there is a money supply, there is an increase in the aggregate demand from Y0 to YD1, and price level increases from P0 to P1. So P1 price level has changed. So here is P1. Now we are multiplying marginal productive labor with the increased price level. So the demand for labor curve will shift up. Demand for labor curve will shift up, and there is a new equilibrium, and at this new equilibrium you get the new employment, which is greater than initial employment. Now wage rate is high, and also the wage rate is high. This is the money wage or the nominal wage. Okay, if we measure the real wage along the vertical axis, then here marginal productivity will be on marginal productivity will be there only. But here we measure the nominal wages, and so price level is multiplied with the marginal productivity. So in this way, if there is an increase in the money supply, then also there is a shifting of aggregate demand. There is a shifting of labor demand curve to the right, to the right at the new price level, that is the P2. This P2, and here the OSZ is W2. As this is the point due to the increase in money supply, and there is an increase in aggregate demand, so new price level is there. So in this way the employment will increase. In this way the employment will increase, and nominal wages also increases. So labor supply curve, you can say this is the short-term understanding. This is the short-term understanding. There is a difference between the actual price and the expected price, actual inflation and the expected inflation. Price level has been increasing from P0 to P1 to P3, P2 to P3, but here the money labor supply is at expected price, initial expected price level. So this situation is in the short run, and you can find this situation only in the short run. So what type of relation you have find from this understanding? You find that there is a increase in employment as there is the increase in the money supply. Okay, you have find a relationship between the increase in money supply and the increase in employment and increase in output, and also there is an inflation, increase in price level. So as there is an increase in inflation, there is a inflation, there is a employment, there is an increase in employment. So there is a inverse relationship between the inflation rate and the unemployment rate. There is a positive relationship between the inflation rate and the employment rate, and there is an inverse relationship between the inflation rate and unemployment rate, as you can find in the Phillips curve. Okay, so this is the Keynesian understanding of Phillips curve that actually you can find from the from the theory how price and output are determined in the Keynesian model. Okay, so now I am erasing this. So what we have get here from, look, some technical problem I think. Look, this is the law. This is the Phillips curve. This is the long run Phillips curve, and this is the short run Phillips curve. Okay, this is the short run Phillips curve, and this is the long run Phillips curve. And how this can be found out? We can spread some light on this analysis. Okay, so this is the short-term Phillips curves, and you can find it on the basis of the Keynesian understanding that I have just discussed. Okay, so now look, this is the understanding of the long-run Phillips curve. Long-run Phillips curve. Okay, so look here is that there is a here also the two market, the goods market and the labor market, And this is in the same way along the vertical axis measure the output, and along the horizontal axis measure the output, along the vertical axis measure the price level, aggregate price level. And in the labor market also there is a nominal loss, and in the along the vertical axis and along the horizontal axis there is employment. Okay, there is employment. So what happens? What happens? Look, as there is an increase in money supply, there is an increase in aggregate demand, and as I have mentioned that from Y0D to YD1. Okay, as, and price level increases from P0 to P1. Price level increases from P0 to P1. But you should have an idea about the labor supply curve. Look, labor supply curve. You can labor supply curve is actually labor supply curve depends on labor supply. This is the labor supply NS. Suppose labor supply depends is a function of suppose is a function of W by expected W by expected price. Okay, so labor supply is a function of real OS, you can say real OS. So labor supply is a function of is proportionally related with the nominal OS W and inversely related with the expected price level. Okay, expected actually labor's expected price level. It is labor supply is inversely related with the expected price level. So if there is an increase in expected price level, there is a decrease in labor supply. If there is an increase in expected price level, there is a decrease in the labor supply. So what happens in the long run? In the long run, when they have the information, then you can find that the labor supply curve, as there is an increase in the the expected price is also expected price also increases. Expected price in the long run. As I have mentioned in my previous diagram, the labor supply curve depends on the labor supply curve is at the expected price, initial expected price level. But now, as the expected price level increases from P0E to P1E from P0E to P1E, expected price level increases. So labor supply curve will shift to the left. Will shift to the left. Okay. As there is an increase in the labor supply, so labor demand curve, aggregate demand curve will shift to the right, and it is also shift to this position. But as there is an increase in the expected price level from P0 to P1, then it will shift to the left. And now this is the equilibrium point. So now this is the equilibrium point where employment is the same. Employment is the same, and nominal wage rate has increased. Okay, nominal wage rate has increased. Now again, if there is a shifting of aggregate demand due to the monetary policy, expansionary monetary policy, then there is an increase in the labor demand curve to the right, but there is also increase in the expected price level from P1E to P2E. Again, there is the there is the equilibrium point. So initial employment is at initial level N0. And in that way, if there is an increase in the aggregate demand curve, then there is a aggregate demand curve. There is an increase in the expected price level also, and there is no effect on the on the employment, and as a result of this, there is no effect on the output. So output and employment are same. It has expansionary monetary policy, the monetary growth do not monetary growth, expansionary monetary policy, or monetary growth does not have any effect on the real variables such as the output and employment in the long run, as far as the Keynesian understanding is concerned. The speed of shifting, the speed of adjustment to the aggregate demand is a crucial factor in the Keynesian understanding. So it is crucial in the Keynesian model that the more quickly the aggregate demand grows, the more quickly the aggregate demand grows, the larger will be the rightward shift in the aggregate demand schedule. The larger will be the rightward shift. Okay, aggregate demand schedule. Other things being equal. Okay, the faster will be the rate of growth in output, the larger will be the shift. The larger you can say the larger will be the rightward shift of the aggregate demand. The output will be more. The output will be more. Output will be more as large as it the gap as large as the shifting is there. The output will be more. And this is the crucial when there is an increase in the money supply, the effect of the increase in money supply in the in determining the output in the short run. You can say in the short run understanding of the Phillips curve. Okay, as Keynes mentioned. So, so increase in aggregate demand caused the price level to rise. Increase in aggregate demand caused the price level to rise. And so again, you can say the other things being equal, the faster the growth of aggregate demand is, the higher the rate of inflation will be. So, so as far as you can, if I go to my next the previous slide, you can find here. You can find here that, look at this. Now I am erasing all this point. Okay, I am erasing all this marking. Look, so what I am saying is that this is the short-term Phillips curves, and as there is the larger will be the rightward shifts in the aggregate demand schedule. The larger is the rightward shift in the aggregate demand schedule, the larger will be the output. Larger will be the output, and there is an increase in the also there is an increase in the price level. Also there is an increase in the price level. Increase in aggregate demand causes the price level, as I have mentioned that, and being other things equal, the faster the growth of aggregate demand is, the higher the rate of inflation. Higher the rate of inflation. Okay, higher the rate of inflation. So there is there is a relationship in the short run in the Phillips curve. There is a relationship between the inflation and employment, or inflation in output, as you can find in the Keynesian understanding. So Keynes also support. You can find the support from the Keynesian understanding that there is a relationship between the inflation and unemployment in the short run, but in the long run there is no relationship. The Phillips curve is a vertical line. The Phillips curve is a vertical line. The Phillips curve is a vertical line here. This is the long run Phillips curve, and this is the long run Phillips curve, and this is a short run Phillips curve. So the basic difference is the expected price level and an actual price level. Expected price level and actual price level. So long as there is a difference between these two, so long there is a difference between the two, there is a difference between the shape of the Phillips curves in the short run and the long run, respectively. So I hope that you have got the point, and the basic difference between the between the Friedman or the monetarist understanding of the relationship between the inflation and unemployment, and Keynesian understanding of the inflation and unemployment. And Keynes and monetarists also support the Phillips curve, but in the short run. So I hope you have enjoyed this lecture, and thank you for enjoying this.